You could use this as an everyday pistol that you go and shoot at the range, as a self-defense weapon, and even as a service pistol for law enforcement. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to review the Smith Wesson M&P 2.0 competitor. I've done a couple of videos lately, and this gun has been in the video, and some people have commented, hey, what gun is that? It's been out for a little while. I've been running it for about a year now. So I'm going to give you guys a review of it so you guys can consider whether or not you want to purchase it. So I'm going to review this from the perspective of somebody who is not really a competition shooter. I don't claim to be a competition shooter. I do shoot competition every once in a while. And of course, I shoot competition with my buddies. When I was on the SWAT team, we competed all the time amongst each other. But I am not a professional competition shooter. However, I do think that this is a great weapon for somebody who wants to play in the competition world, especially in the IDPA world. And I think this can make a really, really great service pistol as well for a law enforcement officer. And just an all-around good gun for somebody that wants a good gun straight out of the box. So let's talk about what comes in the box. So when you open the box, this is how it comes. You get 4 magazines, which is pretty cool. You get 4 palm swells if you count the one that is on the pistol. Okay. And obviously the pistol comes in the gun, in the box, right? You also get the mag release, the standard mag release. So the pistol comes with an extended paddle mag release. If you don't like that, you can change out to a smaller one. Of course, you get the lock, and then you get these plates. Now, I have heard people complain about these plates a lot because they're plastic, and there's been some concern of whether or not they're going to hold up over time. I understand that concern. I'm running the Holosun 507C on this pistol, and I do have the plastic plate installed. I've had 0 issues whatsoever. I've been running this gun for about a year. Truthfully, I only run it about half the time because I do have a Glock that I love to run, but I've had 0 issues with it whatsoever. I will say that the plates are really, really square. And so on the corners, I did take a Dremel tool and shaved them down a little bit because they have a really sharp corner, and I was having interference with my holster because of that sharp corner. So I took a Dremel tool and shaved down that plastic plate. Outside of that, I've had 0 issues whatsoever with the plate. It's run smooth. I've had no issues with, obviously, the optic shearing off. I know that's a concern. I know that's something that can happen. If it happens, I'll update you guys. But so far, it's been a really, really solid gun. All right, so this gun does come in 2 different tones. This is the tungsten gray over tungsten gray. They do have a black slide over tungsten gray. It is an aluminum frame. It is a metal frame. A lot of people are like, it's not metal. Well, aluminum is a type of metal. It's a metal frame. The slide is stainless steel. It's a really, really great gun. My favorite features are, I just really love the palm swell. It feels really, really good in my hand. It's just a really, really solid grip. It feels my hand really good. The flare on the magwell locks my pinky in really, really solid into the grip. So I just feel like I get a lot of strong purchase when I grab the gun. It has a low bore axis, so the transfer of energy goes straight into the palm. It helps keep the muzzle flip minimal. The gun itself is not that heavy. So for competition shooters, I've heard some arguments of they wish it had, I think it's around 30 ounces. I think they want it to be about 40 ounces. So it is kind of light. But again, I've had no issues. The gun shoots really, really flat. I'll show you guys here in a second. We'll put some rounds down range. You guys can see how flat it shoots. Some of the cons that I've heard of is they put this peekaboo port on the top here. So you could check to see, I assume that it's so that you can check to see that there's a round in the chamber. There's been some concern about buildup on the optic because it is directly in front of the optic. I mean, I do have some buildup on my optic, but I clean my optic every time I shoot. And so I've not had a consistent issue with that. It's not caused so much buildup that I'm concerned about the optic itself. I've heard people complain about these cool guy lightning slots on the top that maybe some rocks or some dirt or debris could get in there. Definitely could. Again, I've been running this gun for about a year now, had zero issues with that. Now I'm not rolling around in the dirt with the gun. So from the mindset of maybe a competition shooter, if you fell, or even a service, law enforcement officer, if you're rolling around in the dirt, could it cause some issues? I think it could. I've not heard of it actually being a problem, and I personally have not experienced it. I do love the serrations on the front. The slide moves really, really well. And it's just a really, really great gun. It feels really good. Right out of the box, it shoots really, really flat. My biggest con for me personally is I wish that they put suppressor height sights on the gun. It comes optic ready. The sights are just regular iron sights, so you cannot co-witness. These are the stock sights that come on the gun. It would be nice to have suppressor height sights. Of course, you can purchase those aftermarket. That's really my main complaint with the pistol, is that they didn't put suppressor height sights on the gun. Other than that, I really, really love it. We're going to shoot it. I'll talk about some other things in shooting that you might want to think about. One other really cool feature about this gun itself is that you can take it down without compressing the trigger. Not the biggest deal in the world, but I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, you flip the takedown lever, and there's a little wire down here, a release wire, that if you press down, the slide will come forward without you having to compress the trigger. I think that's a pretty cool feature that just kind of helps when cleaning and maintaining your gun. So let's put it on the range, show you guys how flat it shoots, talk about some of the other things with its operation. All right, guys, let's talk about some of the performance aspects of the gun. The trigger is a little bit heavy. It's like 4 3/4 pounds. I know some people have complained about that. You can get a different trigger if you want. It's got a pretty long pull, and then you get to the wall. It's got a clean break. The reset is not super aggressive, so it doesn't really throw your finger forward, but it is a clear reset. There it is there. Some people want a really aggressive reset where they really feel like their finger gets thrust forward so that you can really tell when the trigger gets reset. I've had no issues with it personally, but I know that's a complaint. Let's put some rounds in, and I'll show you guys how it shoots. I'm gonna do some doubles just so you guys can see how flat it shoots. Shoot a couple more, a little bit faster. So on the reloads, I will say that when I first got the pistol, I did have some issues because the metal frame with a metal mag going in is a little sticky. Polymer is a little bit smoother, but metal on metal is a little bit sticky. It's not something that you can overcome with training, but it is something to consider when purchasing this gun. I do love the metal frame. It just feels really, really solid in my hand. The ergonomics of the gun are really, really great. I have great purchase on the gun. I did have some issues when I first started where I would get a little bit hung up in the reload. So that's something to consider as well. We're close here, maybe 10 yards, just playing around. I have some plates that are a little bit further out, about 40 yards, 30, 40 yards. I'll shoot those as well, just so you guys can see a good solid shot at a long distance as well. All right, that's about a 40-yard shot or so. Gun shoots really good. All in all, I would definitely recommend the purchase. Again, it depends on what you're going for. Quick shout out to our partners, guys. Mighty Oaks, a phenomenal organization serving the military and first responder community. If you are a veteran, active duty, or come from the first responder community, Mighty Oaks has a program for you to help you deal with the hardships that you face at work. It's completely free, so there are no excuses for not to go. It is a faith-based peer-to-peer program that walks you through just how to function, how to deal with the hardships that you encounter in a life of service. I've been through the program. I work with Mighty Oaks. It's a great organization, so make sure you check them out. You can go to mightyoaksprograms.org to learn more. But straight out of the box at just under $1,000, you get a lot. 4 magazines, you get the palm swells, you get a really, really flat shooting gun, a really good looking gun, a sexy gun in my opinion. Something that you could take straight out of the box and start playing around in the competition world. And you could use this as an everyday pistol that you go and shoot at the range, as a self-defense weapon, and even as a service pistol for law enforcement. The only thing I'll say about the service pistol is that I'm not sure, I know they're making some holsters for this gun, but I don't know at what level your department requires. May or may not be compliant with what your department requires. I know Black Scorpion makes a level 2 duty holster for this gun, but when I first got this pistol, there were no holsters. I actually had to have a custom holster made. And as far as having holsters with like level 3 retention capabilities, I'm not sure if there's any out there. You guys can correct me in the comments down below if there are. I would like to know personally, but I've had an issue finding duty compliant holsters with this particular make and model pistol. Again, a phenomenal gun. I also really like Smith Wesson. They're a good company. I bought this gun with my own money. It was not provided for me. This is an organic review. But they do support Mighty Oaks, which is an organization that I work with, an organization whose entire goal is to support our first responder and military community. And Smith & Wesson is a supporter of Mighty Oaks. That's originally why I purchased the gun. I'm a Glock fan. I say that openly, but Smith & Wesson, this gun is really solid. And I find myself having just as much fun shooting this gun as I do my Glocks, which is something that I didn't expect when I first got the gun. So go to Smith & Wesson, check them out. Great company, great gun, and get out there and shoot on the range. Remember, violence is a virtue. We'll see you guys next time.